Bum bum ba da da. Bum bum ba da da. Bum bum ba da da da. That's right. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. Well, actually, I'm leaving tomorrow. Yeah. So this has been a fabulous New York theater trip. And I saved New York, New York for the last. Also, luckily, they were doing a Sunday evening show. So I was able to get two shows in today. Um, and I was very excited about seeing this show. For those of you that may not know, I am a humongous Liza Minnelli fan. Kind of sounded like Oprah when I just did that, didn't I? Humongous! Anyway, I'm a humongous Liza Minnelli fan. And New York, New York, I mean, that's her song. And so many others. And this movie, the New York movie, which I have not seen in ages. I really haven't. And I need to see it again. I do. I think it was the 70s. I know that they changed a lot, so I'm not going to compare to the movie at all. Here's what I'm going to say. So while I've been up here, I think the opening was Thursday night. This is Sunday night. The opening was Wednesday or Thursday night. Just a few days ago was the grand opening. And of course, that's when the reviews came out. And the reviews were not kind. And I get it. I mean, I think they went too far. Okay? Yes, see the merch in the back? I love my merch, okay? I'm the sucker who pays for everything. All right, so let's say this. I'm going to start with this. It is worth it to go see for the second act, but you got to get through the first. There is a lot of subplots and a lot of secondary, third, fourth stories going on that you get easily confused. I was just going through the program and reading, okay, Tommy, who was that? And he was a major role. Okay, oh, he was Jimmy Doyle's friend. Okay, got it. All right, yeah. But he never really had a spotlight moment, okay? So, you got to get through because the first act is rough and it gets confusing. I will also say, I mean, who am I to talk, okay? But I'm just going to say, I think it's way overproduced. It is just too much production. There are times that I'm sitting there and things are rolling on and things are coming down and things are rolling off. I literally watched a guy do this on the set. I mean, he literally almost got his head taken off because he's pushing a bar off and here comes a flat. And it's just a heavy production. And a lot of it could be simplified. It really could. It was too much, and I got distracted. The fluidity of the story, I struggled with, and it's very Damon Runyon esque. Is that a word? Okay, like the opening of Guys and Dolls, where everybody's crossing and they're all moving and it's fun and they're all coming in near misses and it's all these New York people and it's supposed to give you this New York scene and it's great. That's the way this show opened and continued. I mean, there was a moment where there is a woman who is a washwoman, a maid, a domestic. Three people come out in these white, all white, like Greek gods, Greek statues, the urns, right? And they are covered head to toe, except one of them did not have their flag here and I could see their skin. And that was a person of color because I could see the skin tone. And it's all this elaborate and they stand on these podiums and the woman sings a bridge of a song with a big operatic voice. And this guy walks by and he grabs her and then the set changes and the three Greek gods walk away. They were on stage 30 seconds. And then, now the woman's in a gown and she's singing and everybody's clapping and she's been introduced to the opera. Okay, I got it. We didn't need all that. And what was that relevant to the story? So There was a lot of that really bothered me. But if you strip that away, um, I still struggled with the leads. I'll be honest with you. Um, I have to put my glasses on because the guy playing Jimmy Doyle, Colton Ryan, and that's a name I've been hearing. He's done some stuff. Um, he's very endearing, and you like him and you root for him. What I did not like is his singing felt very affected, like he had to give it a voice type, and it wasn't that. I'm making that up. That was stupid. But it was very affected, like he was trying so hard to give it a New York accent, or to give it a period accent or something. It just didn't sound right, and it wasn't pleasant. He had his moments. Um, and he's very cute, of course. You know, I'm a sucker for a cute guy. Um, I didn't feel like the arc of his character really flowed, and that I was really that invested in it. Um, and then we have Anna Uzele, who played Francine, the Liza Minnelli role. And she was actually in the original cast of Six, and I saw her in that. Um, she lady has some pipes. That she has some pipes. Okay. Again, I feel like her storyline wasn't really covered, and also, again, take this with a grain of salt. This is me. Who am I, right? Okay, this is me. But I didn't feel the depth. I didn't feel the hunger. I didn't feel the hurt and the pain behind the songs. She was singing good songs. Definitely in the first act. I just didn't get it. There are some highlights. There is some big stuff. There is stuff that's worth it. As I said, in the second act, it got so much better, and I just loved it. I did. Is it a show that when the bows started, did I leap to my feet? No. When the leads came out, did I stand? Yes. And did I feel obligated to? I don't ever. I do it because I want to. And they deserved it. And they really were really doing, I think, the best they could. I want to talk about some of the moments I liked. One of my favorite songs, Kander Ebb songs, is A Quiet Thing. And Colton Ryan, when he sang A Quiet Thing in the second act, that was probably one of the best moments of the entire show, if not the best moment, other than the very end. When it's him alone on stage, there's no production, there's very little music underneath him. He did a lot of it a cappella. It felt a cappella. It was pure, and it was hurtful, and it was it was great. And then when he did Sorry I Asked, which is another one of my favorites, I felt the pain. I felt the agony. I felt how broken he was by Francine and what she was doing, and what was happening. So there were bright moments. When Francine finally makes a decision and does some stuff, and she sings, "But the world goes round," guys, ladies, people who've yet to make up your mind, a line from Kinky Boots, that's worth the ticket price right there. That was worth the ticket price right there. Those moments. Another big moment all throughout the show is Emily Skinner. Emily Skinner, I love her. And she plays a retired concert violinist, a young immigrant who was given a violin as he was forced out of his country right at the beginning of the World War II. Remember, this is set in the 1940s, right after the 40s, right after World War II. those scenes were precious. Those scenes were beautiful. Emily Skinner, I wish we could have heard her singing more and be more a little bit more featured. That would have been my B story. Um, and it really was a moving story. There just were several other B stories that were just so convoluted, and I can't spend the time to go through it all. I would tell you I sat in the second row. Um, And there was a moment at the very end that I was like, oh, no, why did I sit in the second row? I'm so glad I sat in the second row. So the ending is quite surprising. They do, it's a trick, it's a gimmick, but it works and it's great and it sends you out the door celebrating, tapping your toes. Um, and I enjoyed it. Was it worth my ticket price? Absolutely. Absolutely. Am I glad I saw it? 100,000%. Is this a show I'm going to want to see a second time? I strongly doubt it. I do. Um, I feel like it's a show that is going to need and the sad thing is I'm a huge Susan Stroman fan. And her choreography is brilliant. Her choreography is probably the best dancing on Broadway right now. I have to say, the choreography was incredible. But I gotta say one thing that really bothered me. There was a spotlight dance moment in the second act with a young woman and she's dancing and she's in a midriff. She's in just like a halter top and a skirt and you can literally see her ribs. And it's exaggerated. And it's not like when the guys, you can see the abs. No, this was her ribs because she was so thin. And I don't want to see that. Okay? Sorry, Stro. I didn't like it. All right? But that's me. Otherwise, I loved the choreography and I just, I wanted to love it. I mean, it's Kander and Ebb. It's with some help from Lin-Manuel. It's Susan Stroman. I mean, come on. I'm glad I went. Go and make up your own mind. Don't listen to reviews. Go and make up your own mind. There were people loving it, screaming and clapping, really loving it. They were on the other side of the auditorium, of the theater from me. So anyway, I do recommend people go see it. If you only have limited time, you might check out some of my other videos and make your choice wisely. But it is... it is a love letter to the city that I love, that I just adore visiting and being in. So that's New York, New York, and that's my New York trip. Hi, this queen's got to go study lines. Yes, I'm in a play in Fringe in Orlando, and I got to get up on my lines. So good night from New York, my final video of this trip. Thanks for coming along with Theater Talks with Scott.